This is the smallest BYD you can buy, and when I say the smallest, I mean it is by far the smallest BYD EV. It's called a key car. It's really intended more for the Japanese car market, but it will be made and sold in China and potentially other countries as well. Who knows? It could become a global car, although I doubt it. And the reason I doubt it is, well, here's why. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you with us. I'll be at the Melbourne EV Auto Show on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of June. I'll put a link in the description for a discount on your tickets. According to reports, BYD have, well, this is a BYD. And yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like a key car. You've got to say, these kind of cars, even though they look kind of mental, and I wouldn't personally want to be driving one of these ever, except for maybe traveling in Japan, but they're actually incredibly practical. I mean, it's basically a box. There's no wasted space. It has a tiny, minuscule length bonnet. Extremely practical car. Anyhow, in Japan, people drive these everywhere. They're very popular. They are taxed differently. So it's much more affordable to drive a car like this. So the size, key cars cannot be longer than 3.4 meters. That's 134 inches. Yeah, very short. BYD's Dolphin Mini, the small Dolphin, or basically the BYD Seagull, that's 3.8 meters long, which is 148.8 inches. So that doesn't qualify. We do know a little bit about these cars, by the way. We know that BYD are going to be using a 20 kilowatt hour blade battery, so a lithium iron phosphate battery. And they say it'll give it a range of 180 kilometers. That's 112 miles. I don't know how you get 180 kilometers of range from a 20 kilowatt hour battery, but you never know. Maybe it's possible, I guess. One of the things that BYD will be able to do well, though, is sell these at a very competitive price. These cars are very popular in Japan. They can come in and undercut the competition, which they unquestionably could, because the competition is selling them at like 20,000 US dollars. BYD come in and sell these for 10,000 US dollars. People in Japan will buy them like crazy. BYD, remember, are very vertically integrated. They own the batteries and make the batteries themselves. And I'm going to guess most of the parts going to be putting into this car, they will own the entire production of everything that's going into it, the screens and everything else. I mean, BYD make iPad screens, they make all this stuff. So that will give them a huge advantage. Now, people are saying they think it'll come in at around 18,000 US dollars. I think it'll be a bit cheaper than that. That's 2.5 million yen. And that is cheaper than, say, the Nissan Sakura, which is 2.6 million yen. That was Japan's best-selling EV last year. So BYD very likely will have the best-selling EV in Japan as soon as they can get this thing into the Japanese market, which I'm guessing, considering how long it takes BYDs to get cars out there, very fast, incredibly fast. Last year, 1.55 million of these mini key cars were sold in Japan, meaning that 40% of all cars sold were one of these little mini boxes. Honda's N-Box was the top-selling key car for the third straight year in a row. Really sounds appealing, doesn't it? The N-Box. Hey, what car have you got? A box. No, what car? It's a box, N-Box. Anyway, some are saying that BYD's electric key car is a huge threat to Japan's automotive industry. A Suzuki dealer said this: young people do not have a negative view of BYD. This will be a huge threat if the company launches cheap models in Japan. BYD already sells several EVs in Japan. They sell the Atto 3, which is obviously one of their global electric cars. I used to own that car. The BYD Dolphin, the Seal. So they have 3 models. And they also launched the Sea Lion 7, which is a similar, basically a rival to a Tesla Model Y. That starts at 34,500 US dollars in Japan. That means they've got 4 models already, and they'll soon have an additional one, soon have a 5th model in Japan. Japan, though, EV sales aren't doing that well. Apparently, sales fell by 33% in 2024 to around 60,000 units. And BYD is saying, well, yeah, that's okay, but we're going to take a big amount of market share in Japan. And otherwise, they would have made a car just for the Japanese car market. That's a huge amount of effort, right? And as I said before, I think BYD could realistically sell these for $10,000 to $15,000 in Japan and still make a good profit, which would massively undercut their rivals in the country. Let me know your thoughts. Do you like this? Would you ever own one of these? Would you consider getting one of these as a second car? Do they make actual sense? Let us know in the comments. A friend of mine who lives in Thailand, he keeps sending me these messages saying, Sam, look what's happening in Thailand. This is crazy. Toyota is losing market share. Isuzu, obviously owned by Toyota, they're both losing market share. And it's happening so fast. BYD is killing them in China, killing them in Thailand. It's really about to slay them all across Southeast Asia. And I've just seen the numbers. I mean, what happens is they have this major auto show in Thailand, and what happens is people go there and they place orders. This is like a really weird annual ritual. We're talking thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of orders. But at this show, Chinese brands are getting more orders, far more orders, particularly BYD easily got more orders than Toyota, than Japanese brands. So what happened in the past is Southeast Asia was a car market that was just owned by Japan. I mean, basically, you go to Southeast Asia, what are you going to see? What cars are you going to see? They're all Japanese, right? Go there even now. That's the case right now. But the car factories in Thailand, many of them have been deserted. They're being replaced with Chinese brands and Chinese electric cars. And people in Thailand are like, wow, these cars are great. They're buying them en masse. And these Japanese brands are losing massive market share. But the problem here is that Japan is about to face a critical crisis. Japan is the most dependent country in the world on its automotive industry. It's a bigger part of the Japanese economy than the automotive industry is for any country in the world by a mile. And if you think to yourself, well, Germany's huge, right? Germany has Porsche, they've got Audi, they've got Volkswagen, Skoda, Seat, they've got BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they've got all these brands. Then maybe Germany's more dependent on their automotive industry. And Germany is very dependent. It's huge for them. But it's actually more important for Japan. It's a bigger percentage of Japan's GDP than it is Germany's. But the big problem here is this. Japan's automotive industry is in decline. Last year, its sales went down. Nissan is on the brink of bankruptcy. It's admitted that itself. So if you're new to the channel, that's a fact. All of its debt is rated at junk by every major ratings agency in the world. Mazda's sales, Subaru's sales, all of them, Nissan, everyone in the United States is getting hit with 25% tariffs. And America is their most important market. And in China, they're losing market share. They're getting squeezed in Southeast Asia. They're getting squeezed of course, they're getting squeezed even here in Australia, where Chinese brands are just basically launching into the market and offering really good products at prices that are massively undercutting the Japanese. They're getting squeezed everywhere. And for a number of reasons, I'll show you why in this video, this is going to cause them immense problems. I think that over the next few years,